All right, shalom, shalom. We are the real Hebrew Israelites coming day in and day out to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, which is America. First off and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makar Kadash. Double honors to thee, all the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect, wherever you may be. Brother Shapaya.
I'm my brother Yediah.
From GMS Chicago. Coming at you again with another quick lesson through the Spirit. Just a random lesson, but through the Spirit, we're going to go into Sirach, the 7th chapter. And wherever the Spirit leads us, it leads us. Sirach 7:1. Now, these are things and advice on how you should carry yourself in the world, in your day-to-day life, right? Verse 1, do no evil, so shall no harm come to thee. Depart from the unjust, and iniquity should turn away from thee. All right, and that's what we do. It says you reap what you sow. All right, so there's a certain way you have to carry yourself as a man of the Lord. All right, in general, okay? This is something you call karma. All right, you know, the world has this thing where what goes around comes around, but it's strictly from the Bible. You reap what you sow. So if you're reaping evil and wickedness, that's exactly what you're going to sow. All right? Like when you see some of these YNs come to a horrible end, it's because they've been doing wickedness their whole fucking life. It's called judgment. Okay?
All right, quick one.
Go ahead.
This is Galatians 6 and verse 7. Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. So, hey, whatever you sowing out there, you're gonna get that in return. If you're walking around being a wicked nigga, the Lord has a wicked judgment waiting for you. And it's the same thing with the righteous. If you waiting on the Lord and doing His work, the Lord has everlasting life waiting for us.
Yep, absolutely. Matter of fact, it says, my son, sow not upon the furrows of unrighteousness, that thou shalt not reap them sevenfold. So just like the brother was going into, man, you're out here weeping or sowing unrighteousness, that's what you're going to reap. But if you're out here doing righteousness, that's what you're going to reap, okay? Verse 4, seek not of the Lord preeminence, neither of the king a seat of honor. So we're not in this thing because we want to be the guy. Everybody want to be the guy, but this thing is not about a title. This is our reasonable service. This is the whole duty of man. We ain't in here because, matter of fact, I believe the disciples asked that, who's the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Yahweh Shai said, him that humbleth himself as a child. So humility goes a long way. All right, not looking to be the top guy and things of that nature. All right, how is it in Psalms? The Lord loves a broken, contrite spirit. Okay, not I want to be second in command. I want to be the elder of this. All that shit is extra. We trying to get our penny and get into the kingdom of heaven. That's salvation. Okay.
I got a quote real quick.
Go ahead.
It's Luke 17 and verse 10, it says, so likewise ye, when ye shall have done all those things which I command you, say we are unprofitable servants, we have done that which was our duty to do. So this is our reasonable service, offer our body up a living sacrifice. You know, we're not here to, get something crazy, look for these, crazy, status. We here to do the work of the Lord, which the Lord commanded us to do, in hopes of salvation. That's our reward.
It says, justify not thyself before the Lord, nor boast not of thy wisdom before the king. All right, trying to be the smartest guy in the room. Precept. I got precept out, cutting off other brothers, things of that nature. Trying to look a certain way. That's called vain glory. Okay. Verse 6, seek not to be judged. Seek not to be judged, being not able to take away the iniquity, least at any time thou fear the person of the mighty, and stumbling block in thy way of thy uprightness. All right? Because being a judge, you have to have balance, man. You got to see both sides of the spectrum. All right? All the way through. All right? And that's a problem with some of these judges we have on this side. All right? When you get to the court system, they're corrupt. All right? They have gone out of their way to let certain bullshit happen because it was in the power of their hands. So in turns, like bribery, that becomes a stumbling block to them. All right? Their integrity is taken away. Okay? Verse 7. Hey, the same thing you have in this thing of ours. You have judges that have taken a bribe. To what? Not preach the truth. So their integrity is taken away. Okay? It says, offend not against the multitude of a city, and then shalt thou not cast thyself down amongst the people. All right? And be mindful of your surroundings, man. Hey, when David, I think he was amongst the Moabites, he acted retarded, man. Okay? Because he knew what would have happened if they would have found out he was the king of Israel. All right? And if they would have found out he was the king of Israel, they would have been offended. They would have tried to off him. All right? So this is when wisdom kicks in. It says, bind not one sin upon another, for in one thou shalt not be unpunished. All right? Willfully sinning. Willfully going off. The Lord gave no man license to sin. All right, but you guys, especially these leaders, are adding sins into sins. Okay? Verse 9, say not, God will look upon the multitude of my
Oblations.
Yeah, oblations. And when I offer to the Most High, he will accept it. So, and that's the problem Jake had in the past. Oh, I got a bullock for this, because I'm going to do this, but I'm going to sacrifice this. Jake was already counting up their sins or what the fuck they was going to do, and they was acting like they was going to pay the Lord off with a sacrifice. That's why the Lord said he ain't satisfied with the blood of bullocks and things of that nature. This is how wicked Israel is, man. Okay? It says, verse 10, be not faint-hearted when thou makest thy prayer, and neglect not to give alms. All right? We should always be praying, and we should always have some type of form of alms. Even if it's your time, all right? Free labor, whatever it is. It's a form of alms, especially when it comes to the brotherhood. But it says, alms cover a multitude of... yeah. Grab that Bible shot. Shit. To cover all the sins we did, shit. We got hella alms to pay back, man.
Oh. This is it's 1 Peter 4 and verse 8. It says, and above all things have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins.
There you go. Charity and alms goes together. Verse 11. Laugh no man to scorn in the bitterness of his soul, for there is one which humbleth and exalteth. All right, you see a brother down, or just in general, man. Motherfucker going through shit. Now, if they scoffing the prophets, that's one thing. But, you know, when the motherfucker in their bitterness, ain't no jokes to be had, man. You know, you got this saying, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. There's some things I would wish on my worst enemy because they my fucking enemy. But nonetheless, you know, certain situations these people be in, it's not a laughing matter. Or some situations a brother may be in, it's not a laughing matter. All right? Like the Lord said, there's one that exalted and there's one that humbleth. All right? So you got to be mindful, because the Lord will humble your ass if you think you're better than somebody else, or they going through some shit and you think it's a fucking joke.
The Lord turned that judgment off from them and turned it on you.
Yeah. That's why it says if you see a brother overcome with fault, restore him with meekness. Okay? Verse 12. Use not to make any manner of lie, for the custom thereof is not good. You know, you got this term called a little white lie. No. That starts bad habits. Just one little white lie turns into another little white lie, then it's a fucking lie, then you just blatant out here, man. Alright? Scriptures say lie not one to another. Okay? Where am I at? You know what? I missed the whole verse. Verse 12. Devise not a lie against thy brother, neither do the like unto thy friend. All right? Being a false witness. That's a hell of a no-no, man. Okay? Use not to make any manner of lie, for the custom thereof is not good. Use not many words in the multitude of elders, and make not much babbling when thou prayest. All right? And we got a certain order, man. You can't listen if you talking. When you got dignitaries in your presence, shut up and learn. There's going to be opportunities to bring out precepts and things of that nature. All right? Matter of fact, the elders are going to ask, hey, did anybody got precepts? Did anybody got anything they want to go into? All right? Once again, you got these guys with vain glory that think they're on that they're peers with the elders, and they want to overtalk the elders. These things ought not be. Okay? It says, use not many words in the multitude of elders, and make not much babbling when thou prayers. Your prayers should be straight and direct. Matter of fact, the Lord knows what you want before you even pray. Okay? So when you see these people in church, just going and, man, the fuck, man. That's how you know that shit's some bullshit. Okay? Verse 15, hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which the Most High had ordained. And what is the Lord talking about? This truth. This laborious work. Hate not the husbandry. We're the husbandry of the Lord. The Lord, if we're plants, the Lord waters us and take care of us. The Lord gives us the increase. Right? Then you have the men of the Lord that's watering and planting. Okay? But the Lord gives the increase. And this work is like husbandry. Right? Whether men be as trees or plants, bearing good fruit. All right, it's our job to make sure that we're doing this work and tending to the garden. All right. Verse 16, number not thyself amongst the multitude of sinners, but remember that the wrath will not tarry long. So going back to, hey, be aware of your surroundings. I'm not about to be on the fucking east side on 75th and fucking the Essex at 12:01 in the morning. There's a lot of shit that goes on and that fucking happens around now. All right? Or a fucking club late at night with a bunch of niggas. Hey, some shit is bound to happen. Okay? Humble thyself greatly, for the vengeance of the ungodly is fire and worms. All right, that's all they got coming to them. That's right. So why the fuck be around them, or be in those areas, or take that risk? Okay.
I got one.
Go ahead.
This Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. So we're not to be seduced by these wicked niggas doing wickedness. Why? Because, hey, the judgment of Yahweh Shemi Yahushua is right around the corner. You know? Scripture says it's not going to tarry long.
Verse 18. Change not a friend for any good by no means, neither a faithful brother for the gold of Ophir. So don't sell out your brother, man. Don't switch up on your brother because you think this person may be better or this person has helped you out in this situation a little bit more, so on and so forth. You're not supposed to change a faithful brother, all right?
You gotta be loyal.
Yup.
That's what women
loyalty, man. Switching up. Forego not a wise and good woman, for her grace is above gold. All right? Now, I know that seems to be few to none. There's some decent women out here, man. All right? There's some decent women out here, man. It's very rare, but there's some decent women out here. And if you got one, especially if she's wise and she's a good woman, the scriptures say her grace is above gold. Okay? For all y'all who think we just woman haters out here. All right? The scriptures are very specific when it comes to these women. Verse 20, whereas thy servant worketh truly, entreat him not evil, nor the hireling that bestowed himself wholly for thee. All right? So if you have a servant or you have a brother working for you, there's a certain recourse that you need to have with them. There's a certain way you handle them. There's a certain way you talk to them. All right? Not in treating them with evil. All right? Not like some of these niggas you have in the world that owe people fucking money for labor that they already did. Okay? That's like slaying a man. Okay? It says, let thy soul love a good servant and defraud him not of liberty. All right, so once again, you have wisdom that's dealing with every aspect of life. How to treat your brother, how to treat a good friend, how to treat an employee of your nation, so on and so forth. Hast thou cattle? Have an eye to them. If they be for thy profit, keep them with thee. Hast thou children? Instruct them, and bow down their necks from their youth. That's what you... Hey, spare not the rod. You got a lot of these people that want to be friends with their children. Now, I like playing with my daughters, and things of that nature. But there's a fucking line, all right? There's boundaries of respect. And if they don't get that, then you're doing something wrong. Okay? Go ahead.
It's Ephesians 6 and verse 4. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and the admonition of the Lord. So as the scriptures say, train up thy child in the way that he shall go, he shall not depart when he is older, roughly paraphrasing. You know, you're supposed to nurture and groom my children in the ways of Yahweh Shah.
Yep, because they going to see shit on the internet, and when they see it, you correct it. I'm out. Hey, my youngest daughter, she liked the fact, you know, I don't want to use this name, but JC, not the white image, but when she started asking questions, it was my job to instruct her. Well, his name ain't Jesus Christ, it's Yahweh Shah. Now she knows that name. Now she knows his color, his image. Regardless of what the world tells her, she's listening and getting instructed by her father.
At home.
Yup. Verse 24. Hast thou daughters? Have a care of their body, and show not thyself cheerful towards them. So sometimes, hey, you can't be, oh, my baby girl. Nah, you got to have a stern countenance. All right? So they can know that you ain't fucking around. A lot of times, hey, children would do shit with their mothers that they know they can't do with their fathers, man. All right? Verse 25, marry thy daughters, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding. And really, that's a man in the truth. Knowledge and understanding everybody ain't got, man. Okay? Hast thou a wife after thy mind? There's the point. After thy mind. Which means what? She's into the things that you're into. All right. Now her lot is different, but hey, kudos to some of you women that actually deal with your man in the truth and deal with the truth, man. Okay? Like I said, it's very few, because there's a lot of women that's in the truth that do a lot of bullshit to their men, which means they really ain't in the truth because they ain't listening. Okay? It says, forsake her not, but give that not thyself over to a light woman. So when you are out here and you're looking for a woman, or a woman finds you, make sure she ain't fucking simple. Your woman should be able to know how to multiply money, hold down the household when you gone. So, hey, go read. Your woman should be able to do everything in Proverbs, the 31st chapter.
That's right.
Okay? So don't give yourself over to a light woman. All right? These so-called baddies.
Airheads.
All right.
Vain assholes.
Vain women. Verse 27. Honor thy father with thy whole heart, and forget not the sorrows of thy mother. Remember that thou wast begotten of them. And how canst thou recompense them the things that they have done for thee? You can't. The things our parents have done for us, raising us, taking care of us, sheltering us from certain things, that's a heavy matter, man. That's why it says honor thy mother and father. You got some children disrespectful as fuck. They're little monsters, man. Okay? Little fucking monsters. So how much more our spiritual parents? We can't repay them for the things that they've done for us in this truth. At all. All right? Verse 29. Remember the Lord with all thy soul, and reverence his priest. Going back to the double honors. All right? Reverence his priest. All right? So watch your words and how you talk to the men of the Lord. Okay? Because a millstone is going to be cast about your neck, man. It'll be better for a millstone to be cast around your neck and you tossed in the sea. Verse 30. Love him that made thee with all thy strength, and forsake not his ministers. So now the Lord says it. He said it twice, just so you can understand the position that the men of the Lord are in. And you better pray you don't offend them. Verse 31. Fear the Lord, honor the priest. There you go again. Fear the Lord, honor the priest, and give him his portion. All right? Double honors. As it is commanded thee, the first fruits, the trespassing offering, the gift of the shoulder, the sacrifice of sanctification, and the first fruits of the holy things. Okay? And stretch out thy hand upon the poor, that thy blessing may be perfect. So, alms, charity, once again. All right? Hey, sometimes we see Jake fucked up out here on the streets. Hey, we still help out. All right? The Lord looks at that. Now, be mindful of who you do good unto, like the scriptures say, because some of them are in that position because of judgment. Okay? You have something?
It's Tobit 4 and verse 5.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Be mindful of the Lord our God all thy days, and let not thy will be set to sin or to transgress his commandments. Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the ways of unrighteousness. For if thou deal truly, thy doing shall prosperly succeed to thee, and to all them that live justly. Give alms of thy substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thy eyes be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor, and the face of the Most High shall not be turned away from thee. If thou hast abundance, give accordingly. If thou have but a little, be not afraid to give according to that little. For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity, because that alms do deliver from death, and suffereth not to come into darkness. For alms is a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High. So, hey, having that mercy on brothers, being merciful, being charitable to brothers, that goes a long way. You know, with the Lord.
Verse 33. A gift hath grace in the sight of every of every man living, and for the dead detaineth not. Fail not to be with them that weep, and mourn with them that mourn. All right, and what Paul said, I become all things for all men. Be not slow to visit the sick, for thou shalt make thee to be beloved. And we have examples of brothers and elders actually doing that. Oh, it's nice. All right. Whatsoever thou takest in hand, remember the end, and thou shalt never do amiss. So what it say? I forget how it goes in Sirach. Basically, when it's time to pay back a brother, don't keep your hand closed. All right?
Should it's repay?
Yep. And also, if that's why I says, blessed is he that giveth than him that receiveth. When you receive, don't forget those things that you received. So when it's time to
pay it forward.
Pay it forward. All right? Not being, I got this increase, I ain't gonna say shit, I'm just sitting on it. I'm myself. But you forget about all the good that has come to you. So when you have the opportunity to pay it forward. And you can pay it forward in whatever form the Lord allotted during that time. All right?
I got that for you.
Go ahead.
Sirach 4 and verse 31. Let not thy hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay.
There you go. Plain and simple, man. Like I said, all walks, aspects of life you can find here in this Bible. All right? Psychology, everything. How to operate, how to move. Women, okay, animals, herbs. It's all contained in this book. We don't need nothing else, man. All right? But this book is vital to your everyday life. That's why the Lord called it the frontlets. Use it as the frontlets of your eyes. That's how you filter out everything in this world. You got a situation at work, how do I act? How should I respond? All that should be going through your head, all right? Because you don't want to seem like a loose cannon. So it's a certain way you got to go about things, man. So with that, I pray this was edifying. I'm going to say all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone, and salutations to the elect, wherever you may be. Abad Babal.
Baba Ball.
Palm Yasharala.
Palm Yasharala.